Yeah, and here we go. I'm recording this a lot later than I want to because, unfortunately, things happened. So this means this video is also coming out later than I planned to, and yeah, when that exactly is, we'll have to. I pretty much usually edit my videos right after I finish recording, and then I obviously render and upload them. But hey, but yeah, we'll do the same thing here because we're just doing OSA, and hey, we're doing OSA, so which leaves to preview, which leaves Karen for last in terms of ending B. But anything else I want to do as I see the beheaded head Nasra talking to me. Yeah, let's get out and do our magic things, or maybe not, because I mean the trade-off is that Osa doesn't get to equip certain weapons because he is a yellow mage, but that doesn't mean he is completely helpless. By far from it, actually. I didn't even check. I didn't even see what I just picked up, but hey. Also, I don't think he can also equip firearms. I haven't checked him. I wanted to, but I checked other things instead. So, what does skipping it give me? It gives me hurting and the passive ramp up. I start with tobacco, a lucky coin, unless I picked that up. I don't remember at all. And then we get one skin Bible. I don't know if it's rare guaranteed. Again, it's been a while since I looked at things for Osa. But anywho. You know what? We might use rare. We'll basically try to use rare wherever we can. But, if it doesn't happen, if nothing happens, or if I need to use Sylvian, I will. But otherwise, that's the plan. Just magic and a lot of rare use. And we'll pretty much try not make it fast, but I will. If I see contestants that are vulnerable, I will defeat them. Otherwise, alternatively, the hard mode would be to get myself apprehended now, but I don't want to do that either. So, yeah. Also, I think I made a mistake, and I will continue making mistakes. Wow, I really skipped that. In that, I think I said going to the right was Massa mode, but I think you actually go to the left, because I can't... You don't really have anything to duck into on the east side if you go out from the train, so... That's pretty much... Unless you defeat an enemy quickly, but... I think the timer's kind of jank, last I checked, so, And by jank, I mean, weird things can happen, like you think you have enough time, but you don't, because of how, this engine works. Yeah, the engine itself can be a little wonky at times, so, that results in not just the Termina's developer, but any developer, really, misinterpreting things, and, you think that things work out, you even test it out, and it doesn't happen because, even then people's systems are different. Can I... Hurting ton? I guess we're about to find out, aren't we? Yeah, we're gonna find out. So, this might end up getting me... I should have actually healed, just to be sure. I can still heal, so let's do that. Do I have anything else? No. I don't know why I'm checking items. I should be checking healing. But this doesn't help me as much either, so... Let's just do this. So yeah, unfortunately, Tonica has to go, but I really do want the thingy. Also, I think I need to try to get rid of this. It would be nice, but yeah, I don't think I can do so with one. I need to wait for at least pretty much one rev, as said. But that is why I'm given usually tobacco, but anything else would really help out as well. So yeah, we're gonna keep doing so until he can only tackle us, and then we'll just knife him for the rest of the fight. And, yeah, we'll move on. But yeah, without further ado, I wouldn't say it's speeding through, but on average, moon-scorched fights take longer than human fights, so, I don't think it's really too absurd to say that, yeah, defeating the human enemies makes your run through a lot easier in most cases, and it depends on what you're trying to do, but as Tonica goes down, if nothing else, the extra agility is helpful for pretty much almost every kind of build, unless you're doing a challenge run, which I have seen more of lately, and yeah, I'll just leave that as it is. But yeah, that does eat away at my mind, which will help once I get more of Osa's perks, but until then... Oh, that's right. I don't know why I thought I was already at the old town. Anywho, moving in. Really coming in here just to pick up a book. If the book gives me nothing, well, the book gives me nothing. Glass shards, all the normal stuff. At least, I mean, it's not that Osad can't wear, like... I mean, he can't equip some of the better weapons, but you have a whole array of weapons to choose and items to choose from as well. But magic is going to be how we plan to go. But this isn't a challenge run, so I won't restrict myself to magic only. Not that that's the hardest thing to do, so I mean, I'll go for it if I see it. And it's not easy to set up, but it is doable in a regular Fear and Hunger playthrough is what I'm trying to say. So yeah. Oh, my body, however... my body, on the other hand, in real life, is not going to withstand the things that are happening, but hey. Oh, the one thing I don't want in this playthrough, bullets. I'm pretty sure he can't equip guns, which means I also cannot shoot things down. But again, if I get magic set up, it kind of won't matter anymore, so... The unfortunate part of this is that because I'm playing without rev points, essentially, at the beginning of battle until Marina goes down, I don't get to cast a spell immediately. Or Spice Forge, but hey. Can I go around you guys? Yeah, that would be nice. Until we pick up the more occult things that are available in this game, but... You know, story-wise, it kind of... I mean, depending on how fast the contestants learn lore-wise, but if they're stuck with the knives and things they're given, then this game would normally go bad. I mean, but that's the whole point of video games and stories in general, right? That we're following the characters that, or we're following people who happen to be lucky enough and, to some extent, to some degree, smart enough to to pick up on what's happening in their surroundings and doing things, you know, despite what we see in contemporary films, movies, books, all of that. But Grogoroth would be an interesting one to play with as well, but I think, no, that's a perfect one. We might as well use the light blue vial now to top ourselves off. But we are slowly going insane, so we don't... Oh my goodness, not this way. We'll actually go for Abella as well. Why not? She gives me short circuit. I should also just loot these boxes while I'm here. We did grab a bone saw, but when we go back for Tonica, we'll get its head then. Don't really need it right now, so... Red herb. I theoretically don't need to go to the thingy as well, the tunnel 1, but maybe we will. So come here. Come here. Yeah, yeah, good dogs. Is the other one following you too? Oh wow, he's just too fast. Never mind. Prepare to die. Yeah, so, I mean, we might as well. We have the rotten meat. I shouldn't need to cast any spells. With the double rev, I should be able to one-shot it, unless I do a low roll. Okay, no. Because they have 325, and then I did that to myself, but... Out of curiosity, do I have... No, I don't think I can check from here, so, you know, let's just go for it. If we get infected, bleeding, whatever, then we'll just eat it in the face. Because this is what they do to you, and it's not great. So, yeah, poison. Thankfully, we picked up a white vial, but we don't want to keep getting poisoned. So, let us get rid of that. And then let's grab a Bella. I should have known, usually when you aggro one, you'll aggro them both anyway. I'm sure there's a way to do one, maybe, but... no, I'll just leave it. Again, get Termina yourself if you want to explore the game in full, because I've done more than scratch the surface, obviously, with all of these playthroughs being recorded, but, there's always more. Ending A stuff aside. So, hello, Abella. Yeah, funny enough, you can't, what are you doing here? Yeah, we'll pick it up. Maybe this will be an Osa and a Bellin run. If for no other reason, then, Oh sure, I guess. The thing is, I don't remember when Abella might disappear, so keeping her in my party would probably be for the best, but we'll see. But yeah, let's loot this area at least, and then we will proceed to maybe loot more if possible, but I wouldn't gamble on it all the way. So, I mean, I picked up a trench gun slash shotgun, and yeah, I can't, but Abella can. Not that I want to, but maybe I should because really no one else is going to be able to use it. So yeah. Moving on. So yeah, nothing else I can really do. I don't remember how the things work in terms of characters you pick up being able to get their own perks. I don't think that's possible because you can only do your own, which means anything Abella has is all I get. And there's Needles aggroing me through the wall. You know what? Because there's a chest behind him, I might as well try. So, yeah, we'll let him try to chase us here. And try not to get, caught. We might get caught here. Never mind. We should be able to loot these safely-ish. I forgot. I don't know where he's coming from. Okay, he's going there. So we'll do this. Can I, kite him successfully? The answer seems to be no for now. But he really can't figure it out, so, we can unlock this from here, and then he'll try to chase us. But we can also do this. And yeah, Fear's getting hold of us, so now we got a skill that pretty much ends up destroying us, but, hey. Can you walk through this door, please? No, he can't. So, yeah, if I could, I would just, you know, shoot him through there, but obviously I can't. And he tanks Executioner anyway. I just want to loot stuff here, man. Let me go. You know what? Yeah, we'll try to go around him here. Because eventually, sometimes he eventually returns. Yeah, he returns there. So it would behoove me to try and trap him in, even though it's not the best idea. He also can't see. He also doesn't seem to be able to walk through the doors. So yeah, we'll do this. And then we should be able to open this elevator here. If nothing else, get access to other things. But we'll go down here first before we do anything else. I think this way. Well, I mean, I might as well just open this actually. Thank you, Abella. But we'll also do this. So kind of, I guess from a gameplay standpoint, looking at it, it makes sense why Abella kind of just disappears after, I think, even just day one morning. Depending on what happens, I don't know. She just immediately goes down here and never gets past day one morning, which is quite sad, but even though Abella has a lot... I mean, all of these characters have something to do with the lore. They have their place in terms of what's happening in Primeval, but, you know, for the most part, so yeah, characters that actually have some more use can actually end up dying pretty early on in the festival. And then the characters that pretty much bumble in, like, pretty much, I think Karen, although Karen does offer things to the lore to think about, and are related, yeah, she lasts a lot longer than most other contestants, but sure, why not? We'll do this and turn this on just to troll Rayla. And we'll move on. Again, keeping in mind that I haven't been party talking a lot. Oh, nice, no books. But, again, get the game yourself. I highly recommend it, among other things, if you can stomach what the content is, and, of course, if you're of age, but, in your country of residence. As we sneak past these Ronteals? Ronteals? I don't remember. They're not enemies I can fight right now, so, or I could fight them, but I will just either, well, I would probably end up dying, and if not, I will probably end up without arms, or in a lot of pain, and with the dead Abella, so let's not push our luck. So as we continue to move through this area, again, mostly just doing some basic looting. I could just go back and go towards Tunnel 5. At the same time, do I have a small key? Did I ever pick up a small key? I picked up a bear trap, so I can do the thingy now and pick up Black Caleb. I can go to the woodsman's house and do that stuff, which I probably will do. And yeah, Pav is waiting for me up here. We did, but apparently it doesn't matter because you somehow... Well, either you sneak behind us during day 1 if we make it to the temple area, or he just finds a way himself. But hey. Well, he does. You are probably right. Reason why she's puzzled about this ordeal is that the truce happened right after they reached this area. Seeing the tunnels makes her think that there's definitely something fishy going on, but yeah, and obviously things are dependent on the player's choice and whatnot, so... I mean, again, in a more quote-unquote realistic world, Abella does die day 1 morning, but for the sake of storytelling and the game's lore, it makes more sense that, you know, things happen simultaneously. As I think I guess not really a shout-out, because I don't want to name names. Not that they didn't do a good job, so I really should give them credit, but, certain lore videos have made interesting ways of going through the thing. I mean, obviously, it kind of makes sense at the same time, because they're talking about the lore, therefore, it would behoove them to talk about, you know, how the game might play out. Especially since, you know, it is based on the player character to some extent, but it's not absurd to think of every character. If the player weren't evolved and influencing them from basically the fourth wall, then that, yeah, again, all the characters do their own things. Karen walks towards the east side of the old town. Some people go west, like Tonica. And, yeah, they end up doing things here and there that... Also, where did that second pipe... I feel like I keep picking up a second pipe wrench because Abella joins or something weird like that. Is that a bug? Anywho. But yeah, lore videos going through what a possible sequence of events... I mean, there's literally a countless number of them, but... because, yeah, it just depends on headcanon. Or until Termina 3 comes out, but at the same time, we never get an explicit tale of events of what happened in Funger 1. Although, based on what things we see both in Termina and from what, well, basically Termina, we can kind of try to deduce things, but nothing is particularly concrete. For all we know, Ragnvaldr could have, you know, just been plagiarizing himself as Enki or something weird. Even though that's, yeah, again, that's too far out there, but it's not like you could literally say anything. But again, based on what we know about Funger 1 and 2, or Funger 1, we can kind of deduce things that happen. Also, it'd be nice if my mind didn't go to 0, but I never picked up a pipe for reasons unknown, so, yeah. And if anything, I mean, headcanon is still a thing, because, heaven forbid, not that the developer of Termina is guilty of, or hasn't written a good story. They've written a terrific and beautiful story in its darkness, but, that said, we've seen other games that, you know, don't tell their stories well, and just pretty much butcher them. So, again, we have a headcanon, if nothing else. On top of the, again, for my, and no, I won't say what I was going to say. I'll leave it at that. But the lore is very interesting to go through. And if nothing else, it is, Termina, if among other games, is a testament to, you know, okay, good storytelling at minimum, but I think it's a bit above there, especially considering what we have. Not that that's, you know, that sounds maybe a bit condescending because, yeah, sometimes comparing things to other IPs is actually can be demeaning. Just how it can be demeaning, even though someone might not mean it, to you know, when you play someone in a multiplayer game and you're like, wow, that was, whew, I got lucky. I think that's kind of demeaning. I can see where that comes from. So, also, do I one-shot him if I do this? I should be able to, right? I have an axe. Yeah, I have an axe. I should be able to. The axe should guarantee like 190 minimum. That said, let's do this as well. And move on. Yeah, so these villagers have 300 overall torso HP. So yeah, just having anything better than a knife should allow you to do it. Well, I haven't tested it out for sure because I haven't looked at sickles damage or daggers damage, but definitely with an axe, you'll do a lot better, and that's because you have a bear trap, so... I mean, gameplay-wise and lore-wise, you might be wondering why maybe the woodsman just blindly steps into bear traps, but hey. Maybe he's just so blinded by the rage that he does so. That said, this pipe guy, however, doesn't have as much, or has a lot more HP that I don't want to deal with, so let's try skipping him. Keeping in mind, do I have carrots, by the way? If Black Caleb leaves, I have 4, so... not that idea. I think I can't remember. I think it is the mushroom plus recipe that gives you evasion? Which is basically what I really would want, but evasion doesn't stack with itself, so ultimately you can usually only get 50% evasion when you're prepared, which is, better than nothing. It's better than the innate, I think you actually have a little more, because characters most characters have, or if not all playable characters have, 5% inbuilt evasion, which means adding 50% evasion means you have 55% evasion, but yeah, I think Termina still calculates everything, calculates accuracy and then evasion separately, which ultimately decides whether you hit or miss on things. Oh my goodness. Well, now I really want to save it. I could, and deal with a harder samurai fight, but if nothing else, because the thing about, well, actually, we can check. So, we'll run into Levy here. Who's there? But what I really want to do, as Osa's tummy grumbles, yeah, I mean, I can humor the thought. If no other reason, gameplay-wise, I want to keep this salmon snake rune. So, to repeat one more time, if for no one else, then for myself to retain the knowledge. It protects you from a lot more than what it says. Probably like 1 or 2 other things, but really, it's, limb loss, so arm cut, leg cut, burns, and bleeding. Not infections, but boo-hoo. You pick up a lot of green herbs regardless, so... And if nothing else, that allows me to equip Abella with things, and that's nice too. So come at me. Or, I mean, I'm coming at you, I guess is more accurate to say. And yeah, with Abella in our party, we can just do this. It's nice that you got rid of his bear trap arm, but I mean, not really anything else. I mean, in that respect, because again, I'll talk about Funger 1, even though I don't have the game anymore. I did have 1 and 2, but yeah, due to personal shenanigans, lost access to them. But hey, I'm not going to, I mean, I'll gladly buy them again. Although Funger 1, I'll probably wait for it to be on sale. Sorry, developer, but if nothing else, if and when I ever decide to, even I would like to buy just to support the developer, if nothing else. But hey, things happen. Yeah, I'm not gonna pick up the rifle here. Not that Osa can use it anyway, but it's more for this. Yeah, the vodka's nice because I may want to. May want the mind healing, and I think there's nothing else here. I can light this candle if I had a match or a lighter, but I don't. And I forgot. Although a thing that I do agree with one person who on a certain, well, I think on this platform mentioned is that treating Termina, I mean, can be looked at as a roguelike, but more importantly, it can be looked at as an immersive sim. And yeah, I think that's actually somewhat accurate as well. Despite, you know, again, certain enemies, they should recognize what a bear trap looks like and step around it. But at the same time, if nothing else, you have multiple ways of dealing with problems, even though they all might go towards the same end. And in Termina's case, knowing the endings, it might be, you know, oh my goodness, a Funger book and a Sylvian book. Never mind. Alchemilla 3. All right, oh, Venushka as well. All right. Can we keep the ball rolling? Okay. Well, that was more bad luck, but the good luck outweighed itself. I promise you that. And yeah, I don't think actually Rur does anything here. Maybe, I know it does. It does. So, anywho. We'll pick this up and loot this place. We'll have to come back eventually. But maybe we will rush towards the, temple side. This picking up the Salmon Snake rune just makes me almost untouchable. Aside from a very obvious, I'm not saying there aren't more than a handful. There are still a good number of encounters that will absolutely mess you up, but it allows me to do a lot of things. So, while I could skip this priest, I think I actually have a bear trap, but yeah, I'll use the bear trap. No, I don't, because yeah, I'll use the bear trap here. We'll deal with needles later. Yeah, I'll still try to rush through things. And picking up a Funger book, I don't think I've even used all of the Funger saves in previous playthroughs, so, that said, yeah, we have one bear trap. I think I want to save that for a more opportune time. Mainly death masks. Needles is a good one, but obviously since I can't shoot them, I mean, at least holds them off, but hey. When a big, scary person with a bird beak is looking at you, I mean... Which kind of, not surprises me, but kind of, I can't remember. I'm not going to say it, because I'm not going to remember it correctly. So, but anyway, moving on. Well, okay, with that, yeah, we're just going to rush to the temple area, if possible. Obviously want to use a Funger book first. We'll jump down here. I guess technically you can... I mean, again, let's just say, if I were developing World of... that's the wrong game. I apologize to both developers and anyone involved, but yeah, for Termina, and again, I'm not saying that as if I could do a better job. I'm just saying if I were developing Termina, I would leave that in-ish. Gameplay-wise, it might be a bit much, even though it's not really, because of how many answers you have to solve problems in this game. That said, actually, no, you have a lot of ways to solve problems, so even if you get your arms cut off, again, it's not the end of the world, so, yeah. Beer, egg, and paprika. But yeah, if nothing else, again, Termina allows you to play the game in a whole multitude of ways, whether that's just for fun or to challenge yourself, as you've seen other channels on this platform do, either through their streaming or through videos that they create, which, more Termina is always good, even though I keep forgetting that it came out not too long ago relative to other games, so, at the same time, though, it's not like it's been a year since Termina release. It's probably been, people have been testing the game here and there, but regardless, and again, I swear this is the last time I'll talk about it, because the whole week and a half or last 2 weeks have been a lot of unfortunate circumstances, in my opinion, but it's not entirely horrible. It's just, for me, it's been horrible, so, good to have some good games that have come out and are coming out soon. So yeah, we'll re-equip the pipe wrench. Come at me. I don't know why I'm looting him when he always drops ammo, but obviously I can't use it. Unless, we pick up Levy and Black Caleb doing the girls' work here. But we really want the heads, so... Hey. So we'll do this, glass shards, and a sickle. I haven't been using glass shards lately, but that's because I don't really have a reason to. They would help. If you get extremely lucky, they are more efficient, but you have to get lucky enough. And there is a degree of chance that goes into making an enemy blind. That said, yeah, you know what? Actually, if I really want to rush... Did I ever pick up a small key, by the way? Now I'm curious. I feel like yeah, I did. The game asked me to break down the bedroom door to the mayor's house, so... Yeah, we should be okay, and we have a Bella with us, so... yeah, we'll move on. For some reason, I got really sensitive to spoilers, even though I've just been doing nothing but spoiling gameplay mechanics. So, I mean, I guess it wouldn't hurt to do more. And I have talked about it in previous playthroughs anyway, so I might as well, as the guy inches closer and I feed Osa here. Yeah, so there are several ways to get into the city. They each have their varying degrees of difficulty in terms of, especially if you don't know Termina at all. Obviously I do, and it's not even, and some of it is not, my own merit. It's just me, doing my own research into the game, basically, and finding out things. But Yeah, there you could have a small key in a Bella, or short circuit more specifically. You could get both keys, but you have to wait till at least day 1 evening, and unless there's some weird way, but it's not probably on purpose. You could pick up bolt cutters from a box somewhere before, because there are bolt cutters guaranteed in the city, but you could pick. I think you can loot them from boxes, mostly boxes, and then you cut open the gate there. If you pick up a Venushka Bible, which I did get, you can instead Venushka at the old shack and then get through another way into the city instead of the gates. Here is into specifically Pre-Evil Central. So again, yeah, you have multiple ways, and yeah, it might not be like a dozen different methods, but it's more than most games give you, which is still a lot. Having at least 4 to 5 ways to get into the city. Some people might want to do it quicker than others, but it doesn't change the fact that there are multiple ways to get in. So, as we also pick up an officer's sword, which might be better. It at least allows Abella to not throw her wrench, and even though it's not the biggest increase in damage, and actually I want to keep her. No, only if I'm going to run to a Crimson Father, which in itself is a thing, but yeah, for now, I think most enemies have lower slashing and piercing resistance. Don't quote me on that, I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, we'll do this instead. If we had... No, we don't need the other small key as well, because I can just go through Tunnel 7. I'd have to go all the way around, but hey. Yeah, we'll go through this way. If you have another small key, maybe, but I don't think so. I mean, it would be a good use. Actually, no, because if I were any other character, it would be a good use, because I could pick up ammo, maybe. But because I'm Osa, again, yeah, firearms are less valuable. But magic is the most valuable, so hey. So we'll go through and loot this stuff at least, because there is a chest here. I don't think it's impossible to pick up another Salmon Snake room, but that would be literally drawing the opposite of Snake Eyes. Or rolling 7s, or rolling a nat 20, but hey. I don't think it's impossible, but anywho. Why is fear getting a hold of me? Is it just proccing the 50 fear again? I feel like it is. Yellow Vial, 6 shillings. How many shillings do we have, by the way? Because that will determine whether or not I want to rush over. Well, that gives me a Small Things Amulet, but I'm not able to get 16 unless I buy 2 Small Things Amulet, but that's a bit much, in my opinion. That is actually probably for me, right? Halves the cost? I can't remember. I don't know why I'm forgetting. Actually, I can check right here. Yeah, it decreases the cost at least, which is better than nothing. Yeah, we'll shortcut our way into the city here. And if a death mask wakes up, well, feels bad. Because I have to pick up the effigies anyway before I can even get to the temple area. I might as well do this, actually. Do the sewage treatment plant puzzle now. But which I can pretty much autopilot, so I can talk about literally anything else. But, there's something to talk about. The agility escape chance, which reminded me of something when I watched... we'll say, yeah, a Dark Raccoon's video on agility, and I think someone else mentioned it in the community as well, but to explain from my side of things, because I understand the engine, again, not saying that I know for sure, based on the game itself, but from what I understand, if things are left to default, especially with the plugins, because I know that this game is using certain plugins, it's in the credits, so, yeah, if it's using a certain plugin for battle engines, it makes sense why having a certain threshold of agility allows you to escape guaranteed, because the default is something along the lines, I don't remember it off the top of my head, but it's like something to the player's agility divided by the enemy's agility, or is it the whole troop's agility together? Which is why you can't run from certain fights, because I think it adds all of their agility together. Nonetheless, basically, if just for the mathematicians out there, you can already kind of tell that allows you to get a because it's all percentage based, and so basically 2 divided by 1 is, or 1 divided by 1 is 1, which is equal to 100% chance. So if you can get that number to 1, then you have a guaranteed chance of escaping, which again is not supposed to be the case, because in most default RPG Maker games. Usually, when there are a lot of enemies, that means that can I do this? I think I can do this, right? That means that you can. That means that enemies usually, when agility is added together, say that there are 3 enemies and their agility is 10. If we're looking at Termina turns, but right now, I think it's only the player, or is it just me, or is it just because I think it calculates all of us together. But let's say for the sake of argument, I only have Osan. He has 10 agility. And I'm fighting against 3 enemies that each have 10 agility. That means that 10 divided by 3 is about 1/3, so that's 33%. So that means you have a 33% chance of escaping. However, I think there's also an innate, because there isn't already, the developer added in, I think, their own escape chance, which is why escape plan is a whole thing. Otherwise, escape plan would be useless because it would be working on this system. But anywho, you know what? I could loot this as well. I could actually fight Moonless right now if I wanted to. The question is, do I want to? I mean, I could. It would hurt because I don't have a lot of good equipment. And yeah, I don't have double turns, so yeah, you know what? Scratch that idea. But, yeah, so there you have a 33% chance, but there's also an inbuilt, because I talked about it in earlier playthroughs, but for those who didn't, who didn't watch those yet, and listen to what I said there, yeah, there's an inbuilt chance that rolls based on a RNG number generator. Usually it's about a 50-50% chance as well, but that means that if anything, those two work together, just like how accuracy and evasion are calculated separately, and if any of them results in a dodge, then you dodge. The same thing for probably works the same as escape. Again, don't quote me on this because I'm not sure for certain, but being able to escape guaranteed, that would kind of explain why that's a thing, because it rolls 2 different escape chances. The one is the developer's inbuilt escape chance, which with escape plan you have a higher chance of escaping just by nature of numbers. Based on what I'm hearing, he seems to have spawned to the east. Let's hope he did. Let me focus for a moment. But at the same time, yeah, so you have a 33% chance based on the situation I proposed to you, but say your agility is like 20, and since most of— oh, don't get shot me! Ah! No. Okay, who is by my head. But I don't know if I don't think— yeah, because I haven't exited the map, so this wouldn't reset needles, thankfully. But let's see here. And we'll fungus save here. I picked up a salmon snake rune. That is my justification for saving. But as we get into probably this encounter— oh, I think we have every Bible at this point. I can check shortly, but yeah, but that's what it also explains why, because most of the time you're fighting, as you see on screen, one enemy. So because you're only fighting one enemy, and Black Caleb decided to do the job for me, remember to beat him. That means, you know, if you have your agility at 20, I think is the magic number. Most enemies only have 10 agility, which means 20 divided by— I think it's like a multiplier of like 0.5. So it's a 0.5 times player's agility, or maybe combined agility. But if that's the case, that means it's easier to run with more party members, which unfortunately obviously doesn't help you in massive mode because they're all on your own. But again, you have say 10 agility, because 20 times 0.5 is 10, and then most enemies have only, yes, we do have every Bible. Most enemies only have 10 agility, so 10 divided by 10 is 1, therefore you have a 100% chance of escaping. So yeah, that's why you're able to escape, if we're going into the numbers. Again, this isn't, you know, confirmed. I'm just saying what I know right here. Thank goodness we have Black Caleb. Oh, no, we don't. Okay, I guess I have to throw the wrench at this door. Yes, I could small key, but I'm pretty sure I can save on that, so... Actually, I'm using the officer sword, aren't I? No, I'm not. I'm using the pipe wrench. I never switched. Huh, okay. We'll look at this. Another Man in Dreams flyer, but we'll equip... yeah, we might as well stick with the pipe wrench, just in case I need to. We'll feed Abella a magpie here, and open this box that thankfully flipped the heads, and gave me ammo, so never mind. But, yeah, so that's my whole theory behind why you, are able to escape guaranteed. And of course, that could always be changed. The developer could always choose to change that in a future patch, but I mean, obviously the developer has their own priorities if they're not already at least designing Termina 3 and, you know, getting the storyboard down in terms of the plot and what's going to happen. But also, I should pick up these shillings here. There's no reason not to. But we will move on. If nothing else, open this gate here. The problem with opening this gate at the staircase part of Preheval is that if the death mask spawns, it can end badly for me. I also already have a way to the thingy, but to bop. But let's see if I can't get this guy. Yeah, so eventually they lose you. That kind of I understand why enemies can lose you like that. It's because, as I look for rotten meat to give Caleb, it's because they eventually are not looking at you. And each enemy, if you didn't know, each enemy has its own XY coordinate. That's normally how you do it in RPG Maker anyway, is that you would assign XY coordinates to events and things like that. It's sophisticated enough to do so. I don't want to make this too complicated for people in case you don't have any knowledge, but basically each enemy can, or each event, or enemy in this case to make it easier to understand, has their own XY coordinates and where they're looking. So if they're looking towards you and the game calculates that they're looking at you, they will start chasing you. But if they're not looking at you, which is again what you can do by doing movements like this, and so the enemies will also start moving up and down. And technically, yeah. So if I'm Osa and I'm the enemy and I'm looking like this right now, but I'm Osa and I dodge up, theoretically, quote unquote, the enemy is no longer looking at me, and so it will therefore no longer try to path toward me. Alright, well, yeah, this is a really good run. I should have saved it later, but I guess we'll do church things now and try not to die. So, yeah. I can also save it at the church as well. I have the chance to, but, you know. So it looks like this is gonna be an Osa Abella run. The mix of the science and magic. Looking at you, Rancid. But yeah, we're gonna be able to do a lot of things in this run with Abella at our side. Maybe I even want to troll Rayla even more by kind of entering. I think you can still leave though, or leave it open. But hey, but yeah, unfortunately we can't get Almer affection because we are Osa, but it doesn't really matter. So it doesn't really matter, is all I want to say. We'll loot these urns while we're here though, and move on with life. But yeah, each enemy has their own, you know, you can add, in programming terms, their own characteristic, their variables, their own properties. So you can apply programming logic because, surprise, surprise, game development is programming. So, you do have to think about the workload on the game itself and people's systems, though. So it's not entirely foolproof. You can't make the most sophisticated game, but you can do good enough. RPG Maker is a good blank canvas, especially even for those who don't have any knowledge in programming. And not saying that you have to be a programmer to be able to make use of algorithms and things like that. People do that in their normal lives. They just don't realize they're doing it. But that's what it's called, and the science of it goes into computer science, programming, algorithms, cybersecurity, so on and so forth. Yeah, this is just... Alright, well, I definitely want to save it, and I hopefully don't fall down the ceiling here, but we're gonna go for battle, so it's gonna be a thing. So as soon as this turns black, I'm gonna let go of the key, and I think I can kind of take it slow, but I do want to be running at certain points, so... yeah, and if we have to, I guess we will fight. We are kind of stacked. So, 1, 2, 3, run. Bolt cutters, quickly. If I were Olivia, I would care less. But, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Ladder. Okay, good. So, yeah, you don't have to be the quickest, but you do have to be, you do have to make haste if you want to do both battles and cut down the chandelier. Although, theoretically, I could have tried to fight an optional boss, but I've already cut this down. As I said earlier, I could have gotten to fight Moonless, but that would have... If RNG depends on where I go, I mean, I wouldn't have been in this reality where I got a second Salmon Snake rune. So, unfortunately, it doesn't help me mitigate damage, but in a way, it helps me mitigate damage by killing things faster, because I don't get my arms cut off. But anyway, wheat flour, blah... 5 shillings. We'll loot other stuff here. And I'm not usually looting everything, but I'm looting a good amount of items, so yeah. Another white vial, more shillings. Grab this effigy, because otherwise we can't actually complete the game. Well, again, you have multiple solutions, but really there's only one, I think 3 solutions tops to getting to the temple area. And one of them basically relies on, well, either a glitch or a, somehow getting so stacked before we reach the temple area that you, just become powerful. But, yeah, so the problem with me being Osa here is that, I'm not built for magic. However, I can't shoot things as well because I cannot equip guns in the overworld. Also, that's right, this is a darker area, so I am losing a lot more mind and stuff. We'll just give you beer for now. And, yeah, we'll bait this guy over here. No, come here more. And then walk over this way. That one can't run at you. The other ones over here can, however, so, yeah. Why am I forgetting? It's because the rare circle that you could use is down here. Unfortunately, you have to risk breaking your leg, so you know what? And yeah, it doesn't really get me what I want if I use the rare circle here, so I guess the church one is the exception. Maybe? Question mark? Am I going crazy? I feel like there is. Anyway, if nothing else, we won't touch these circles, but we will. Funger again if possible, and, grab Samari here, so hello. Are you alright? This has been a nightmare for all of us. But let's just get back. So bye. Although experience-wise, Osa should still be more experienced than Samari in occult matters. Not saying that, you know, neither of them know spells that the other doesn't. Or, not saying that either of them know more spells or the same amount of spells than the other. But, yeah, Osa is, I think he is the oldest playable contestant. So, yeah, because the oldest contestant would probably be, I think, is August. Just old man energy. Broken old man energy, but hey. Yeah, and this, we're gonna be running through like a chicken with our heads cut off. We can also sacrifice heads here, so I might as well. Yeah, for 2 soul stones, which will at least get me a lot, if not all, of Osa's perks. But I think I picked up a soul stone as well somewhere. So yeah. Anywho, let me save my stamina because we're gonna need to run through a lot of things here. If nothing else, we're gonna open this. And I really don't want to fight this guy, so yeah, we'll actually kite him out here for a moment. Okay. We'll save our stamina because that death mask could wake up. It didn't, but I think I was still getting away from the path. Thankfully, that thing didn't see me yet, but it did now. So we're gonna run as fast as we can over to the Funger Man. And we'll keep running. Pick this up really quickly, and we'll actually open this as well, so we have a way to loop around. Unless it keeps chasing me. It doesn't. Is it stuck there? No, it's not. So I'm not going to take the risk. I'm going to Funger again. Mainly, literally because we picked up a Salmon Snake rune, among other things. But, we'll save it again. And away we go. Done. Yeah, but if nothing else, we're going to do this, and, yeah, we'll loop back around to the train, and again, we can sleep now, but for now, we'll try to do more things. I think I can Funger somewhere else, maybe? Question mark? As I accidentally exit out of the, or not exit out, but click out of the Funger window. If nothing else, I mean, I will sleep, but that will be before, that will be after I take care of Karen, so we don't have to wait as long, possibly. So yeah, we'll do this. Oh, yeah, well, I'm thinking of other things. Anywho. So yeah, we'll do some looting here, but ultimately we're going all the way back around. Oh yeah, I could save at Pre-Evil Bop. That's what I'm trying to think of. But I don't want to spend that many saves that quickly, even though you have more than a few perfect circles to use for Funger, which is mainly gonna be what I'm using them for. But I mean, I guess I could try to remember as I run through this rifleman and try to run into him. Yeah, I think there's at least 6. Because the thing is, I use the train cabin for to set up Almers because I highly value being able to port from the beginning of the game to pretty much the end of the game. Most of the time, the end of the game. But yeah, that just leaves the other locations, which are two I used: the bookstore, the church. There's Pre-Evil Bop, which I'm probably gonna use for a Funger save as well. And then I think there's one more, but I can't remember off the top of my head. Yeah, I can't remember that off the top of my head, but there's a lot of saves. But you obviously have to be able to pick up the Funger Bible somewhere. Usually being lucky, but you can pocket cat for it as well. But we'll immediately Almers. And not saying that Almers isn't important too, because you could forego saving and add more fast travel or teleports. But we're gonna Almer. So yeah, just by nature of this, you can tell how many saves you have. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 if you Funger. But we're gonna use Donovan's house. We're gonna use the train cabin, and we haven't seen Pre-Evil Bop and the other one. I'm going to try and remember, but we will drop these people off for now. So we can go back and defeat Karen comfortably. I can also attempt to fight Samri, I think. If I get apprehended, so be it. We'll at least make the run a bit more interesting. But yeah. We're running all this way to take care of Karen, essentially. And then we'll come back and pick up Abella. Or probably sleep. That too. Because again, it's not like I'm rushed by anything aside from things progressing. But day 1, really the only threshold is whether or not you reach Samri, which is something I was thinking of not doing, but I decided to do it. So maybe in our Karen run, we'll do something different. But for now, since we're not in a Karen run, we're going to be taking care of Karen. Because unfortunately, she stands no chance, especially with the Sound Snake rune. Not that really allows me to do anything more. I would rather have more mitigation, but we don't. So actually we do. So because I think bullets are yeah, theoretically we can put this on as well, just for more mitigation. And then we can also Bettles, because she's not going to be casting she's using the magic of science, but really yeah, not going to do much. Also, I need to not enter through that way because I like just holding a button. Because this game does track where you enter and exit maps from. But, anywho. Yeah, so we'll be able to do a lot in day 1 evening, which is usually where the game expects you to start really getting off to making progression. But it's not impossible, obviously, as you've seen, to do everything day 1 morning. Hi. What do you mean? I don't know. No, you will never get back. The question is, can I one-shot her arms with an axe? Almost. But, unfortunately, she was too panicked to miss. And by that, I mean she just happened to miss. Unless her agility is a lot lower. But, we'll make it quick for her, so... And if she tackles me, no, don't tackle me. Well, fine, eat this 3-rev then. But if nothing else, Bettles gives me more mind. I thought Bettles used to only heal 8. Why is it healing 10? Anywho. Yeah, we'll take care of Karen here. And while lockpicking is nice, it won't be the best thing we have. We can also go run back all the way to get Tonica, but I'll do that after I sleep. And whether or not that's the end of the video, well, we'll see. So, yeah, without further ado, that's probably the most progress we'll make. Nothing really much else to do unless I decide to Venushka into the deeper woods, but I don't need to because I'm already in the city, so yeah. If I could reach the temple area, though, I would just solo it, but I don't have the effigies yet, so that's not happening. And yeah, we'll leave these Moon Scorched because I don't really need their heads right now, but also because... they can also provide me HP, body, and mind healing, by the nature of, well, saving them for until I have the Leechmonger's ring. So, anywho. Yeah, so while I said this is going to be a magic run, I guess I'll try after I sleep, because again, I don't really have much in the way of that. I mean, I could have just casted hurting all the time, but this is not an explicit challenge run, so I will not limit myself in that way, but I will try to explore, because I should be able to get a lot more things. That said, I don't think I can get everything. Actually, I can find out now. So, nah, we'll leave those for now. So we have 2 soul stones. Yeah, okay, that's not enough, but we can start making our way over towards getting stuff. I should have been cutting off a lot more heads if that's the case. Yeah, you know what? We'll actually do a bit more. Because I want a bit more before I sleep and Hexen, I guess. So, come with me, Abella and Black Caleb, as we go on a journey over towards Pre-Evil Bop. Unfortunately, I never opened the gate from the city side, so really I should just be going... I really should just be going through the sewers, but I want Tonika's head, so we'll at least grab that. Because making it over to Pre-Evil Bop shouldn't take me more than 10-15 minutes, unless, of course, I stop a lot to fight things, which I might do, but we'll see. That said, let us change our gear for a moment here. So, Artificial Soul, not really, there won't be too many enemies casting magic against me right now, so we'll instead give Abella other stuff. Don't ask me where I got this gentleman's hat, even though I'm about to walk over towards Tonika right now. And take his head. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Bella. He was like this when we got here, but we might as well take his head. But that would be kind of disturbing to other characters anyway, because you're suddenly just cutting off heads. But I've just been isekai'd into Osa's body, so don't ask questions. Anywho. Yeah, so we'll move back towards these sewers. We got the sewer key, so we can walk through the normal part of the, what are they called? I guess I'm about to find out. Southern End, I think it's called. But, in essence, we're going towards Pre-Evil Bop, so let's do that. Then we can poke our heads out in the back alley, but I don't think I really want to, so, yeah, so Black Caleb's gonna stop here. I could just leave him here, but we'll give him a carrot and move on with life. So that he can at least be a meat shield, because if he dies, I mean, he's a freaking god, so it's not really gonna matter too much. And we'll keep moving on. So we can use the sewer keys. Yeah, we'll go in, and let's go through this. If nothing else, there are chests, or there are lootables here, so there are lootables here. But yeah, as we go through the sewers here, not really much else to talk about. If I'm thinking about what I'm going to do after, there is the Karen run, and there is, I was kind of concentrating for a moment there. There's the Karen run, maybe a Massa mode attempt, and really that's it. And if people ask for a lot of ending A's, then so be it. But, yeah. And so this is the way I think I've just learned to kite them things, because I noticed it on my own. I'm not going to say, I mean, I'm sure someone's mentioned it, but I kind of intuited into that. And again, that's just because of the engine. You could, the developer could try to make it not more sophisticated, but that's not the correct word, I think. But they could try to make it so that enemies are more relentless, but at that point, it might be a bit off-putting to some. But, anywho. So yeah, just moving back and forth. With party members, it's a bit easier as long as the enemy has a way to reach you, because if they don't, the game just forces an encounter in certain moments. But that can be finicky as well. Again, a lot of things are finicky, and it's not even, some of it is not even or a lot of it is not even the developer's fault. It's just the game engine that its Termina was made in, but still, that doesn't stop it from being a very great game. So, themes aside that some audience or players might not really like to play through, but hey. So we'll climb this, do these box lootables, and head over to Pre-Evil Bop, and pretty much save it there, because from then on, there's not really much else to do. Sleeping and saving will probably be the most efficient thing. We'll even fight this granny here. We might be able to one-shot her? Can we? I guess we're about to find out. I don't have a rev point. I don't have a rev point anyway, so it's not even gonna matter so much for me to do this. I think I can still get infected, but let's find out if I one-shot her. I don't. And she gets a cane smash in, but yeah, I think I'm just gonna go for this. Well, yeah, we'll one rev here. I should be able to defeat her this turn. The rat acts first, so it does, but thankfully I don't think I got an infection. Caleb targets it anyway as I commentate through this battle, but yeah, we can at least two-turn. If we had more party members, we could probably one-turn her, based on what I saw there. But we didn't, so yeah, moving on. Yeah, and because I don't have... Oh, almost forgot to feed myself. And by myself, I mean Osa. Yeah, unfortunately, we can't use guns in the overworld, so, really, I should just give the gun to Abella at this point, but I think I can also bear trap him and immediately hit his head, question mark? We should have at least two bear traps, so yeah. So I should be free to use this. And then I can just immediately hit his head. That way I can avoid any damage I'm taking. So, yeah. And if you see the yellow exclamation point, well, I don't think that's true. Never mind. But we will take these things, but really his head. Because Osa can't use any of those things. But yeah. Let us move on. And we'll poke out at Preheval Bop. I should just be looting things here. Yeah, let's just loot these. Yeah, let's just loot these things here. We'll fight another hag lady. Before we move on. Hi. Yeah, since I know I can't one-shot her... I mean, I still should wrench toss. Who am I kidding? It's just that I'm not faster than the rat, so, yeah. But... yeah. No! Abella's taking a lot of damage. The rat's gonna attack first. Well, actually, Black Caleb can be infected, but it won't matter. And that would have been nice earlier, but, you know, he just decided not to. So we'll soft another head, and, yeah, we'll poke our heads up into this, the back alley, because we don't have the sewer wench yet. Let me just make sure no one has any infections, and move on. Duct tape lavender. We'll feed Black Caleb really quickly. And move on. So while we don't have Moonless, we do have Black Caleb, so that's a thing. We'll go back down. I could try to speed through and get the effigy, but I would rather save first. A lot of things can happen in between that and saving, or my next, well, the apartments and my next save after this one, but I don't think I really mind for now. And if I'm going to be saving it, I might as well open this chest. Ring of the Still Blood. Well, we are already immune to bleeding, but it's much appreciated. Just in case I want to pick up a fourth party member. But for now, let's loot these things here and not try to save scum. But if nothing else, no matter if I was not doing a magic playthrough or otherwise, doesn't matter as much because, you know, the Salmon Snake rune makes the run infinitely easier. We'll also trigger both of these events so that we don't accidentally do a thing, so let's do this first. Oh, yeah, Abella, yeah, hidden basement, a second time. And we'll go down. I will also loot these books. We'll loot this. I just did it. I didn't even know that looting it from this side gets you other stuff, or it gets you more stuff, I think. But anywho, yeah, why not? We'll just pick up everything here. We'll pick Abella back up. But we really just want a Funger save as no, we'll feed Abella later. And yeah, that'll be the end of the video. So without further ado, as I save it right here, if you have anything to say, you know what to do. If you want to support me, you know what to do. Otherwise, I won't take up more of your time. I'll save it here, and that will be the end of this video. So yeah, see you later.